welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
We're just a smitten couple in love. The loves reacting to some Smite.
Smitten for Smite.
Yeah, and so we're checking out the Norse gods. We're doing it in 2 parts again. So it's a character draft that we're doing, and what we do is we have like little claim tickets here. And so if you see a character we want, we go ahead and claim it. And then there's a special one that we can like steal in case someone claims something and like I want it, I can steal it, but then she can block me. Yes. She'll get one of them. You only get one of them, so use it wisely. If you want all of our Smite reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. All right, so Smite, Norse Gods, part 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so and also for this one, you have all the claim tickets you will need for the entire Pantheon, not just this video.
Okay.
All right, so you can take every single person in this video if you wanted to.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Fenrir the Unbound. Mortals must rely on the wisdom of the gods, but never forget they are fallible. They can be petty, churlish, and worst of all, wrong. What are the consequences for their mistakes? They should have slain the wolf beast Fenrir, but they chose instead to bind him. Despite the warnings and prophecies he would tear Odin apart at Ragnarok and devour the earth and sky, they did not end Loki's son. Now terror roams free. It is unknown how, but Fenrir is unbound. Thrice they tried to bind him, each time convincing Fenrir that the chains were nothing more than a challenge for his strength, a test to see if he could shatter them.
And he could.
The first 2 god-forged fetters were easily broken beneath the beast's terrible power, but the third was a ribbon, dwarf-made, and Fenrir grew suspicious of the god's intentions. As a show of faith, he demanded one of them place a hand in his mouth, and if the ribbon proved magical in nature, he would exact punishment. Brave, if foolish, Tyr put his fist in Fenrir's maw as the ribbon was secured to the wolf's leg. Fenrir strained and screamed, but could not break free, and in a rage he devoured Tyr's hand. For a time, Fenrir was forgotten. The dire prophecy just a memory. But they were all warned, and the gods did nothing. Fenrir is hungry now, the first hunter, an alpha among sheep, but no flesh will satisfy his need. It is revenge he craves, and now he is unbound.
Sweet.
In Smite, Fenrir tears his opponents apart as a physical melee bruiser. Fenrir's passive is called Unbound Runes. Fenrir gains efficiency as he attacks. Every hit from a basic attack activates 1 rune, up to a max of 5. Each of Fenrir's abilities gain an additional benefit when used at maximum runes, and the runes are consumed. Enemy gods that die near Fenrir will fully activate all of his runes.
His design is so fierce. Like
yeah.
Flames going up his paws and stuff.
Unchained. Fenrir leaps forward, dealing damage to all enemies when he lands. At
nice.
full runes, the leap stuns the enemy's hit. If the leap hits
like
a
stun
god,
abilities.
the cooldown is halved. His second ability is called Seething Howl. Fenrir rears back and howls, inspiring himself with a physical power and lifesteal buff. At full runes, the buff is increased by 50%. Fenrir's third ability is called Brutalize. Fenrir pounces to his ground target location. If there was an enemy in the radius, he strikes them 4 times, dealing additional damage with each strike. At full runes, each strike deals 75% damage to nearby enemies. Fenrir's ultimate is called Ragnarok. Upon activation, Fenrir grows massive in size, becoming immune to crowd
he
control
carries
while
them,
moving
sweet.
faster. Fenrir bites enemy gods, dealing physical damage and carrying them away.
That's
At
good,
5
because if your
combo
enemy's in like
points,
one of
his protections
the like protective
double.
circles of a support character or something,
Oh, yeah.
you could take him right out of it.
Smart, beautiful.
Fafnir, Lord of Glittering Gold. There is no creature, living or dead, more greedy than a dwarf. In the frozen reaches of Asgard, beneath its mighty stone peaks, they dwell, tirelessly hammering its resources bare. The dwarves forge gold jewelry, carve gleaming gems, and breathe curses into their finery. Among these wretched kin is Fafnir, son of Hreidmar, equipped with a swollen smithing arm and a ravenous hunger for violence. One spring,
'Cause it was red nose.
Fafnir visited Hreidmar's realm, bearing an otter pelt they'd skinned on their journey. Hreidmar was horrified, for the otter was one of his sons, and so entombed Odin and Honir. Loki, however, was tasked with filling the hide with gold in exchange for their freedom. Refusing to be outdone, the trickster god stuffed the pelt to bursting with the cursed treasure of Andvari. Hreidmar, unaware of the cursed gold, greedily accepted the wealth in exchange for the gods. That night, taken with madness, Fafnir strangled his father and vanished into the frosted night with the cursed gold. Paranoid of losing his treasure, Fafnir guarded it ferociously. While the curse slowly unraveled his mind, twisted he became, scaled and nightmarish. His breath turned to poison, his maw fanged, his
first
demeanor
dragon?
fouler. A dragon arose, the very symbol of greed. Centuries passed, and Fafnir remained by himself, only accompanied by his treasure. However, war is coming, and with it unimaginable spoils. Soon he must spread his wings and lay waste to the encroaching battle, his incredible greed fueling his fury.
Fafnir.
Fafnir's passive is Endless Greed. Fafnir gains 4 bonus gold from all kills and assists he is involved in, including minions and structures. Fafnir also gains bonus protections based on the amount of gold he is currently holding, up to a maximum. Fafnir's first ability is Cursed Strength. Fafnir hurls his hammer forward, dealing damage to enemies in its path. If Fafnir hits a god, the hammer stops and stuns the enemy god, as well as radiating out a curse on the target, slowing any enemy caught in its radius. Fafnir coerces his allies into fighting harder, boosting their attack speed for a short duration and healing Fafnir. While Coerce is active on his ally, Fafnir deals additional bonus magic damage whenever the buffed ally damages an enemy. Fafnir may choose to cast this ability on himself for bonus damage, increased attack speed, and heal.
You have a little dancing
Fafnir leaps
emoji?
to a target location and executes a despicable strike, dealing damage and disarming enemies in front of him for a short duration. This ability is quicker
he's so much
to
of a dick to be
fire
on your
when
team.
cast near Fafnir and takes longer to travel when cast further away. Fafnir transforms into a terrifying dragon and is untargetable during the process. When he emerges in dragon form, nearby enemies are poisoned, taking damage over time. He remains in this form for a duration or until he activates his ultimate a second time. As a dragon, his abilities all gain additional effects as well as his basic attack, which is replaced by Dragon Breath, which deals damage rapidly in front of him, scaling with magical power. Fafnir's first ability, Cursed Strength, will now deal damage over time and shred protections away from anyone afflicted by the area of effect curse, in addition to slowing. Fafnir's second ability, Coerce, now can affect multiple allies in an area, encouraging more than one ally to deal more damage. Fafnir's third ability, Underhanded Tactics, can now travel much further, and the damage changes to a damage over time. Additionally, Fafnir stuns the closest enemy hit by this ability in addition to the disarm effect. Gods and Goddesses, welcome to the Smite God reveal for Heimdall, the Vigilant.
He was a dick in God of War.
He was.
I hear the whispers of the dead on the wind. I hear the mournful clatter of dead men's bones.
Ooh.
The rustle of charnel flowers. They come by secret ways, hoping to avoid my gaze. But I am the watchman of Asgard. I can see for hundreds of leagues. I can hear the grass grow. And my axe is ever to hand. Asgard is threatened by a new enemy, and my duty is clear. I will not falter. I will not fail.
Yeah,
That is my will. And while I live, Asgard shall not fall.
Ooh, skewered. Cool shot.
Heimdall's basic attacks are much slower than
Heimdall's
normal
like, I will do my
hunters'
own
basic
lore, thank you very
attacks,
much.
But hit for more damage. Heimdall has a hit chain, throwing 2 sideways spinning axes that cleave enemies hit before throwing an overhead axe that deals high single target damage. Heimdall's passive is the Vigilant. If Heimdall would lose vision of any enemy god in the match, he instead retains vision for them for 4 seconds, including through stealth. For each god Heimdall has vision on, he gains stacking physical power. Heimdall's first ability is Piercing Sight. Heimdall throws his sword, Hofwuth, into the sky. The sword radiates with light, revealing enemies in a large range around it. Heimdall
that's
can
fun.
reactivate this ability, bringing it crashing down, damaging enemies wherever it lands. Heimdall's second ability is
You can get, like, even hit
Giallar
enemies.
Horn.
You can-
Heimdall blows the Giallar
They don't know
Horn,
what's coming from.
damaging and slowing enemy movement and attack speed to those caught in front of the blast.
Yeah, that's
After
cool.
2 seconds, Heimdall unleashes a final sharp blast, knocking enemies close to him away. If Heimdall cancels this ability early, he will still do the final knockback. Heimdall's third ability is the Bifrost.
The Bifrost.
Heimdall can place a fragment of the Bifrost at a target location. If Heimdall has 2 fragments on the map, they become linked. Heimdall can then walk
Sweet.
into one of the fragments and after a brief
cool.
delay warp to the other fragment.
Can
How long
teleport.
this warm-up takes, as well as the cooldown of this ability, is determined by how far apart the fragments are. Enemies who walk in between the 2 fragments are briefly revealed to Heimdall. Heimdall's ultimate ability is Through the Realms. Heimdall charges forward, stunning an enemy god in his path. He then winds up his axe and unleashes a devastating swing, launching the enemy god into the sky. Heimdall then opens a portal, sending his launched foe through the realms. The enemy will fly through Muspelheim, taking damage from the extreme heat before crashing into a pillar.
That's
Heimdall then
badass.
sends them to Niflheim, where the bitter cold slows them before crashing into a mountain. Heimdall then returns them to the battleground.
I almost like want to get hit by his ultimate so I can.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Hel, goddess
Oh,
of
yes.
the underworld.
Dibs.
Nothing even
In
happened yet.
Smite, Hel rejuvenates her allies while decimating all who stand in her way as a mage.
Shut up. That's what happened.
Both beautiful and terrible, the goddess Hel is keeper of the dead, lays judgment on souls, and decides who is reborn. She is both sides of 2 extremes. As the daughter of Loki, the trickster god, Hel's destiny, much like her brothers Fenrir and Jormungandr, was doomed to darkness from the start. Odin, the All-Father, uncovered prophecies that Hel and her siblings would be the source of great calamity, resulting in Ragnarok, the battle that would end all things. In an effort to prevent this, he cast each of the 3 into different realms. Not quite a prison, though far from freedom. For Hel, Odin gave her charge of the realm of the dead, specifically those that died of sickness and old age. For himself, Odin retained Valhalla for those that died in battle. At birth, Hel's face was cast half in shadow, half in light. She was both living and dead. So took immediately and graciously to her new role, gifting Odin with the ravens, Hunin and Munin, in appreciation. As the spirits of the kind-hearted, the sick, the elderly were brought to her. She cared for them, gave them comfort, yet those she deemed evil, she mercilessly hurled into the frozen depths of Niflheim. Yet despite Odin's efforts, destiny cannot be averted. Hel's conflicting struggle between benevolence and malice will force her to one extreme or the other. A time will come when Hel will fulfill her prophecy, though it is yet unknown if she will be a shadow of darkness or a force of light.
Cool.
so cool. I mean, 'cause she's gonna be
Passive is called
the warmest, most
Stance
caring person you
Attunement.
could encounter.
Yeah.
Hale
Or
is
the
in
most
a stance.
cold-hearted
She
and
gradually
ruthless.
attunes the strengths of the stance.
People say about me.
In dark stance, Hale
Yes.
gains magical damage, while light
You never know what you're gonna
stance grants her additional healing. Her first ability is called Decay. Hale fires a projectile that explodes on contact, doing damage to all enemies. In her light stance, Hale fires a projectile that does damage to a single target and heals Hale for a percentage of the damage
Oh, sweet.
done. Her second ability is called Hinder. Hale debuffs all enemies at her ground target, reducing their magical protection and slowing them for a short time. In her light stance, Hale buffs all allies at her ground target, removing all crowd control abilities
damage,
and
you don't wanna do
protecting them
support.
from future ones for a short time.
Cool that she's got 2 options for
Yeah.
everything.
Hale's third ability is
A lot of
called
versatility.
Repulse.
Yeah.
Hale conjures a burst of dark energy, damaging all nearby enemies. In her light stance, Hale releases a burst of white matter, healing nearby allies and increasing their movement speed. Hale's ultimate is called Switch Stances. In her dark stance, Hale's abilities cause damage. In her light stance, Hale's abilities heal and support her allies. Half of the benefits gained from the stance are also shared with allied gods.
She's a great character to have on your team.
Yeah.
Lead designer for Jormungandr. Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Jormungandr, the World Serpent.
The
Right.
dawn of your ending has arrived, and I am its architect. I have purged countless epochs and all that dwelt within them, and you shall be no different.
Yeah.
Destroy this world,
Take Jormungandr.
the great unmaker.
Thor.
Be swept away, and only when creation is rendered pure again shall I rest.
God, he's huge.
It's not
Yes.
your concern. Your apocalypse is here.
Okay then. He talks
Badass.
a big,
Jormungandr's
big
basic
game.
attacks
Yep.
are quite unique. He fires noxious breath in a cone that does damage.
just
as
ahead.
it ticks. As he
One
continues
neck.
to fire, the attack rate slows down.
Well, they couldn't fit all of them on the screen.
Jormungandr's
Yeah.
passive is immovable. Instead of being moved by hard displacement abilities like knockups, Jormungandr gets
This
a
was before
debuff
they got
called
like a
Dazed.
voice
Dazed is a
actress
fading
to
self-slow that increases
do
the
it all.
damage taken
This
for
is just
the
like one of the
duration. Jormungandr's
programmers.
first ability is Venomous Haze. He fires out poisonous spit
Yeah, it
that
must
does
be.
damage immediately on impact and leaves behind a long-lasting toxic
I'm like,
cloud
he's
that
speaking
slows and
clearly
does
and all, but,
additional
like,
damage
dude, you
to
just don't
enemies
have
inside
the-
of it.
Yeah.
His
the
second
oomph.
ability is Consuming Venom.
Gravitas.
Exactly.
Jormungandr channels a large roar that deals damage in an area around him. If there are any toxic clouds at the start of this ability, the final roar is larger and deals more damage. Jormungandr's third ability is Submerge. Jormungandr descends into the ground, becoming invisible
Oh,
and
sweet.
gaining movement speed as well
Oh,
as peripheral
wow.
vision.
That's
On firing
fun.
this ability
Yeah.
again, Jormungandr emerges back from the ground, dealing damage and knocking up enemies. Finally, we have Jormungandr's ultimate, the World Serpent. After a long channel, Jormungandr dives down into the ground, preparing to unleash a devastating attack.
Ha.
After choosing a location,
That's
Jormungandr
cool.
leaps into the air and comes crashing down onto enemies, dealing damage and knocking them up.
Oh, it's cool seeing it
Jormungandr does
like
this twice more before the ability ends.
from this perspective.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Ratatoskr.
Oh, I mean, I have to have them.
I know you do.
I have to.
Yggdrasil.
It's our little squirrel friend who like had the
The
pirate.
tree of the nine
Yeah.
worlds.
Hatch.
The source of all life. Rising through the center of the cosmos, it grows through the invisible heart of everything.
Oh.
Only one god traverses these winding branches and roots. One god that can call Yggdrasil home. Forever playing the messenger, endlessly running from the highest peaks to the depths of the deepest roots.
I love the way this is done.
Introducing Ratatoskr, the Norse god of gossip, errand boy between the eagle.
Errand boy? Lady, I think you got your facts messed up.
Excuse me?
How about you rest that pretty voice of yours? I'll take it from here.
I don't think.
Introducing Ratatoskr, glorious champion of Yggdrasil, who's also dashingly handsome. Who can forget the time he heroically fought the Jotun alongside the All-Father Odin?
That didn't happen.
Or when he bravely defended the halls of Valhalla from evil, wielding the mighty Mjolnir and rescuing the maiden Freya.
That definitely didn't happen.
His tales don't stop there. Using just an acorn, he downed the trickster Loki, captured the monstrous Fenrir, and sent hell packing back to the depths of
Her.
hell.
This is getting nuts.
Hey, you got a problem with my narrating?
None of what you said happened.
It hasn't happened. Yet. Oh, this is getting nuts! I get it.
He almost sounds like a little Gohan.
Ratataskr's passive is called the Acorn.
Or Gotan. No,
Yggdrasil.
Gotan.
Yeah.
Ratatasker spawns with a powerful acorn already in his inventory. He can upgrade his acorn through the item store.
Wait a minute, why are you
from
back?
Anywhere on the map to strengthen
The
himself.
narrator, I thought
and
you were either gonna
enhance
get
his
her or
abilities.
him, or this little
First
guy.
up is his one. It's
Yeah.
called Dart. Ratatasker dashes in the target direction, dealing damage to all enemies along the way. If Ratatasker strikes an enemy,
Because that was fun,
guy
like
he has
her,
not
she was taking like
struck
all
with Dart in
serious and like the
10
weight of it, and she's
seconds,
making like all
the cooldown
menacing.
is actually reset.
Yep.
His second ability is called Flurry of Acorns. Ratatasker
it's
spins in a
my
circle, shooting 12
favorite God
acorns
reveal trailer
out
they've done.
in a circle around
Yes.
him that freeze in the air briefly, then return to wherever Ratatasker is currently at, dealing damage on the way out and the way back.
Ratatasker's 3 is called Acorn Blast. Ratatasker shoots out a blast of 4 acorns that are projectiles forward in a cone that each do individual damage. The Sapphire Acorn changes Acorn Blast. Acorn Blast now becomes a shotgun blast of sticky grenades. They will stick to the target and deal damage on the initial hit and on the secondary explosion. The Emerald Acorn also changes Acorn Blast. It will now heal for the number of targets you hit with this ability. The Topaz Acorn changes Dart. If you dash through someone twice, it will now stun your target. The Opal Acorn also changes Dart. Dart will now shoot lightning bolts to targets you pass by during the dash, but doesn't.
Also, did
fill
you
the
record
area
this, like,
with
in a
damage.
bathroom? Like-
It will apply on-hit effects like crit.
Sounds like there's an echo in there.
The
Yeah.
Tier 1 Blue Acorn now makes
does not
your
sound like it
Flurry
was
of
done in a sound
Acorns
booth.
slow.
Yeah.
The Tier 1 Yellow Acorn will now make your Flurry of Acorns deal more damage. Finally, it's time to talk about his ultimate.
Yes.
It's called Through the Cosmos. Ratatasker charges briefly, then leaps from the ground to a branch above his head. He must then jump to a new branch twice more. On the third branch, Ratatasker chooses a landing location where he can strike down, dealing damage.
Sweet.
Canceling his
Cool.
ult while in the air at any point causes Ratatasker to strike down on his last valid target location, dealing damage.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Skadi, the goddess of winter.
Okay. She got a puppy too.
Celebrating in the halls of Asgard, the gods drank and feasted while the body of Jotun Tiazi lay cold nearby. Odin and his ilk boasted of their achievements, laughing and cheering to celebrate. At that moment, the doors swung wide, breathing icy wind across the hall. There she stood, pale as snow, clad in furs, eyes blue as glacier ice ablaze with vengeful fire, spear in hand. Skadi.
Nice intro.
The gods sought to dissuade
Surprised it took you that long.
As a symbol of honor, Odin cast the eyes of her father into the heavens to twinkle as stars for eternity. Unsatisfied, she demanded a life for a life. However, it was Loki who persuaded her. Through his wit and charm, her frozen features melted away. Odin declared Skadi would marry a god and in turn become a goddess. Skadi agreed. Blindfolded, she was to choose her husband. Njord was a god of summer and Skadi a goddess of winter. After a few years, they amicably parted ways. Skadi returned to the snow-capped mountains of her youth, but without her father or husband, she soon grew lonely. Word spread of a war between between the pantheons Odin and Loki, Njord and Ur. These gods were her family now, and Skadi would not lose the only family she had left.
Cool.
Yeah.
Skadi's passive is her companion, Calder, the Winter Wolf.
Yeah,
Calder
she needs to be
fights
on
by
your team.
Skadi's side and has
She's got
two
Winter
forms,
Wolf.
Beast and Elemental. While in beast form, he can attack enemies and be attacked.
Ghost.
While elemental, he can't attack, is immune to damage, and regenerates health over time. His forms can be controlled with Skadi's second ability, Rune of the Hunt. Keep in mind, Calder will be forced into elemental form if he loses all his hit points. Skadi's first ability is Piercing Cold. Skadi throws an icy spear forward, dealing damage to enemies and slowing them for 3 seconds. Calder's basic attacks deal double damage to targets afflicted by piercing cold. Skadi's second ability is Rune of the Hunt. Skadi marks an enemy for Calder to hunt. While toggled on, Calder assumes beast form, chasing and attacking the marked enemy. If the marked enemy dies, Calder attacks other enemies nearby. When toggled off, Calder stops attacking and returns to Skadi, reverting to his elemental form on the way. Additionally, Calder gains new skills as this ability ranks up, including a dash, a heal, and providing Skadi with increased movement
What
speed.
is that big
This ability
freaking
can be
spider?
I know, right? The crab, like
Skadi's third
thing.
ability
He's a
is
scarab.
Permafrost.
Ah,
Skadi
okay.
freezes
But
the
fuck
ground
no.
for 5 seconds at a target location.
Should not
the
be that
frozen
big.
area deals damage to enemies who set foot on it and causes gods to lose control of their movement as they slide across.
Ooh, cool.
Skadi's movement
Yeah.
speed increases by 25% while standing on the
Come
area.
and get me, suckers.
When triggered, snowstorms surround both Skadi and Calder. Enemies in range become rooted, and Calder is restored to full health. Calder also gains full damage immunity for the full duration of the ability. The storms persist for 5 seconds while dealing damage to enemies every 0.5 seconds.
All right then. So these were fun. Gods that we're a little bit more familiar with. You know, so it takes a little bit less time for us to snatch them up because we kind of know going into it who we want. Happy with my team though so far. I only got 3: Hormungundr, Hel, and Fafnir. So team good guys.
I've got 4. I have Skadi.
Ratatoskr.
Thank you, because I was never going to say that right anyway. Heimdall and Fenrir.
Okay, and so we'll do the next part next week. We'll do part 2. Ratatoskr, his was the best. I said at the time, his is the best God reveal trailer I've seen so far in Smite. It was just, I'm glad they had so much fun with it. I don't know why they didn't have the narrator like continue and like describing his abilities and everything, or have him continue to describe his abilities. That would have been fun too. And you're right, he did kind of sound a little bit like Goten from DBZ.
He did.
Yeah.
I do love that they sort of, in audio sense, broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
With the character kind of bickering with the narrator. That was so fun, especially because she brings such a gravitas and like an oomph with her voice. And I mean, it's a great voice actress that they got for this. So to have her be so rudely interrupted was so enjoyable because it was completely unexpected. And then to have
Ratatoskr.
I keep wanting to call him Ratatouille because I just have that in my brain. And I know that's wrong. That's a rat, not a squirrel. I get it. Anyway.
Same difference.
When he enters the picture, like the voice that he has is so young and small and kind of squeaky. It's such a juxtaposition from her voice of like Galadriel from Lord of the Rings style, where it's like weighted and gravitas and like, oh, there's meaning behind her words. That was just so enjoyable, and I don't recall them doing that ever before. So it was a nice curveball to throw at us.
Yeah, and like I mean, it must have been fun for the actress too, the voice actress, because like to have. It's fun when you like have like a character or something you're familiar with that like you only kind of know as serious the entire time. Like break from that and start to joke around. Like it's so in a way it's so jarring, but it's also so refreshing. And it's like okay, like yeah, like this voice actress, like they have a very serious tone and like they're able to bring like we said like the gravitas to the work, but you know, they have the playful side as well. So, you know, even though we don't know who this voice actress is, and, you know, only know her from Smite and everything like that, you know, so we watched a lot of Smite and have been pretty familiar with her. So, I don't know, it was kind of nice just to see the other side of her.
I know this is probably going to be a weird parallel, but it makes me think of Hercules in Disney because the muses come out, and I mean, you always think of the muses, or really any of the gods, as being kind of serious and weighted and like, ooh, they inspire us. And there's just kind of like a thing about that. But the muses come out and they are just real women telling a real story, and they just let it fly. And it's, you know, as an audience, you go, oh, okay. I did not know I was in for this kind of a journey, but I'm so excited about it.
The only reason that was weird is because you used a Greek character in a Norse video. So that's the only reason.
Yeah. I did draw that parallel.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. You know,
is it?
I'm sure Odin will forgive you, the Allfather.
Probably not.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments, and who you think's got the best team so far. We'll have all of our full team down below in the description of this video. But you know, the Norse gods aren't done yet, so I got 4 more left. You got 3 more left to choose from.
True.
So we'll see how it all shapes out. But let us know whose team's looking better.
Yeah, let us know.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Smite Norse Gods Character Draft Part 1, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.